Hey everybody, this is Alex Duselier Muller. I'm here today with a lower level exercise for all of the lower level riders I left at home. I am riding Theodore today. He's a 6-year-old warm blood gelding. He's a big boy, quite a big mover, quite a bit to package. I If you've ridden with me before, you've heard me say that riding a horse in a connection is a bit like riding a horse by closing all sides of the box, the front, the back, the left, and the right. So this exercise today is designed to help you package the horse together by closing all those doors. Enjoy. So you'll begin this exercise at the C end of the arena. You'll turn down the quarter line-ish and change the flexion and the posting diagonal to the opposite side and leg yield away from your outside leg. And then the hard part is as you pass E and B, you're going to change the flexion and leg yield away from the other leg. So in this case, the right leg. So you can see Theodore has a little bit of an opinion about that, but that's the purpose of the exercise. So don't stress if there's a little bit of resistance. You'll leg yield to that quarter line and then come across your short diagonal with a bit of a trot lengthen. So if your horse is behind the leg, the point of this is to go, like really get them forward. If your horse tends to run a little bit, you'll be a little more conservative. And then immediately you'll go into a walk step and back to trot. And then at C canter and 20-meter circle. So I want you, as you repeat this exercise, to be quite particular about making the transitions at the letter. I also want you to be really picky about your geometry. So as you're finishing this circle, you're going to do a trot transition to C and then into the corner. So because you finished the circle, and then onto the quarter line. I blew past it just a little bit. I'd forgotten where I was going. And leg yield away from the outside leg. As you cross B or E, you're going to change the flexion. Again, a little bit of resistance, no big deal. And leg yield off the opposite leg. And so you can see how in this exercise I'm closing each door. I'm closing the left door, the right door. And then here, as I send the horse forward across the diagonal, I'm closing the back door. So again, if your horse is behind the leg, you're going to send them forward, quite forward. And if the horse tends to charge off, you'll be a little more careful. And then immediately a walk step, because the walk step mimics the half halt. And then into the corner, because I haven't started my circle yet. Canter transition at C, 20-meter circle. So again, I want you being really particular about the geometry. So absolutely round 20-meter circle. Down transition at C, and then turn down quarter line. So he wants to blow past his outside shoulder. You can see a little bit of resistance as I go to change the flexion. No big deal. I'm just going to stay in the center and kind of wait for him to realize that that door is closed. And then as I get to B and E, leg yield off the right leg. Again, a little bit of resistance. Not a big deal. This is a big horse, a young horse, so it's quite hard for him to package himself, and so that's why we run through this exercise, just closing each door until he kind of realizes that he has to carry himself more in a package and not falling left, falling right. And then a little bit of a bigger trot. And walk transition, walk step, and back to trot. So the walk step, you've heard me say it before, is a really good way to mimic and train the half halt. Canter transition really promptly at C and out of the corner onto the circle. Again, staying out of the corner until I get to C. Down transition at C. Turning onto the quarter line. Changing the flexion and the posting diagonal as I start that leg yield. It's a little bit more responsive that way there. I like how he's reluctant, but he's giving me more the right side. And then it's that change of flexion into the leg yield that's tough for him. But you see it is getting better. The resistance is a little bit less. The leg yields are much straighter. much better trot here. And a walk transition, good. Yeah, so I like here how Theodore's getting a little bit more rideable. The up transitions combined with the down transitions are starting to close the back of the horse, the front of the horse, out of the corner, and the down transition. So I actually am quite pleased with his up transitions into canter and his down transitions. I liked that beginning of the leg yield because he started to be a little resistant and then softened his whole body. And again here, I know this is really hard for such a big young horse, but he made a really good effort there to like let me ride him and not just get so tight and combative. And so I like what's happening to his body here. He's bigger and looser, longer through the frame in a really good way, much more rideable. So as you're riding this, make sure that you are paying attention to, one, the geometry. So your circles are round, your corners are deep, and two, that you are making the horse really prompt off your aids, that he's going equally forward when you close your leg and coming equally back when you ask. So this is starting to get a lot more rideable. You can see there's still a little bit of stiffening, but not nearly the amount we had before. So this horse needs a lot of this exercise until he just kind of softly accepts the new inside leg. He just changes direction without the fight. But overall, I'm quite pleased with this. I think this is a super good exercise for this horse. So enjoy this one, and I'll be back next week with another. All right, have fun.